What is happening, people? United Centrally back with another video, podcast 58, sponsored by the One Football app. Make sure you go down it. Link will be in the description somewhere there. Obviously, there's not a lot of football news at the minute.
Wait a minute, let me just go and get my spray, mate. Before I even
Spray? What do you need spray for? Listen, mate, I'm alright, man. I've had my hand sanitizer.
Spraying you, mate. Spraying you. Right, now I'm ready.
Again, the protocols are ready.
Yo, get away from me. Get away from me.
Listen, but I've noticed that you didn't put some on yourself last time.
Did I?
You didn't put some on last time.
Of course I did. Because I've been putting them on all day, mate. Calm down.
Listen, man. Obviously, we're taking protocols. Obviously, Aaron's not here. Shout out to Aaron.
Yo, shout out to Aaron.
He has had some complications, so he couldn't make it into the podcast. But we are going to maintain a kind of distance.
Stay away from me, Corona.
Corona, I see you coughing all day.
Yo, Corona, mate. Corona.
But this is another podcast, guys. I told you, man, we're not going to stop with this content, man. Content will happen. As much as it is absolutely dire at the minute, and it's absolutely boring, yeah? We're still bringing content. This is podcast 58, sponsored by the One Football app. And a podcast to say, you know what? What does football mean to us? Talk about life, talk about everything. Generic football chat. And Nuruddin, man, this weekend, mate, just aside from that, mate, I've lost my hair, mate. I might be going grey hair, mate. I might be losing hair. Might become like you, Nuruddin. But you know what, before we start, happy birthday to Nuruddin, man. You know what I mean? Respect to you, man. How old do you know?
30 blood murder, she wrote.
That's it. Good weekend?
Add another 9 to that. Yo, I'm an old man, mate. But
old man that's still got the fire, though. Oh, that's what they say.
Yeah, I'm an old man, mate. Compared to you guys. Compared to you young guns out there, innit? You know what I mean? I'm an old man.
Virtual reality.
Virtual reality rave, mate, last night.
You know what, man? I was wanting to know, what is this virtual reality rave you're on about?
Yo.
Was it good? Lock off.
I did it last night, man. It was brilliant. Yeah. Shout out to everybody who showed up for my birthday dancing it. You know, I always have to dance in it, so I had fair plans this weekend.
And do you know what? Nuruddin has got some shapes, you know what I mean? I've got to give it him. I thought it was all the talk, but you know what? You actually walk the walk.
Yo,
so
music and football be the loves of my life, mate. Music and football, the loves of my life.
If it wasn't for music and football, what would you be doing now?
I don't know, mate. If you said to me no music or no football, and no film, because I'm into cinema as well.
Yeah, you know what? You can tell.
You know what I mean?
Everywhere you look, there's...
I'm into cinema, man.
There's books, there's, cultural arts and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm into culture, man. So, without those things in life, man like me don't drink, you know what I mean? Not hitting...
That's it.
Man, I don't even drink even tea with caffeine.
There's a myth
I'm herbal teetotal, mate. Most will be like, what? Herbal teas only. I don't drink any caffeine. So, without those things keeping me occupied, I'll be like a madman, mate. They'll have to lock me up, mate. Lock me up.
I want locked up.
Locked up.
Shout
let me out. Yo, shout out to Akon, man.
Shout out to Akon. That's how we're feeling right now. Locked up.
Yo, everybody's locked up. Yo, Boris won't let you out, mate. If you're in the UK. Boris ain't letting you out, mate.
Boris, man, what is he doing, man? You know what? People that moan and saying, oh, talking about coronavirus, you're talking about Boris too much. This is all we can talk about in a minute.
That's the reality. You want us to bring you we want to bring you what's going on.
We have
why there's no football. We've got to explain it. Why there's no football.
And the latest Boris chat, you know what I mean, is...
It's on the charm offensive. Thanking the whole world, mate. Thanking everyone.
Thanking? Is he... Like, I get it, you're thanking businesses, but isn't that what we should be doing? Is this not the protocol?
Yo, the only people we should be thanking is the frontline staff. People,
you know what?
See what I'm talking about, people?
No.
You see what I'm talking about?
That was a clear...
You see what I'm talking about?
That was a clear in my throat, man.
You see what I'm talking about?
That was... Not every cough's a corona, you know. Sometimes you listen to... As we're talking, sometimes you need to clear your throat.
Forget about this. For you having a little cough, you have to check the people around you first before you can go. This thing has showed that you have to cough in
how you
where nobody's around you. Because if you cough,
it's like when you're farting, isn't it?
You know what? Yo, forget the farting, mate. You cough, everybody's ears are like that, mate. Super ears. And
when you're on the transport system, there's one. You know, people are reading the newspapers.
Everybody's getting dark.
Everyone dark alleys are like, yo, who's that down there, yo?
Who's that down
there?
Get out, baby. Even the cats are like, easy now. Don't let me grab you.
Even the cats are avoiding you.
Cats and
man.
dogs are like, don't let me grass you up now.
Wow.
That's
man.
how it is. You have to hide. You have to hide the cough, mate. People are like, try to cough, and people are like, and then wait till they get out of the room and go, secret coughs, mate.
Bloody
Secret
hell, man.
cougher. Are you? That's the question.
Are you one of them?
Are you a secret cougher?
Oh man,
Shout out to all the secret coughers out there, mate.
That's a new one. That one.
If you're
Shout out
from
to
line, yo, shout out to the secret coffers out there, mate. Secret cover, undercover. It's a Corona's affair, mate. That's how it is, mate.
Yo, man, we need a book for
remixes,
this.
yo, remixes. Secret cover, undercover.
Who's on the feature?
You know what?
Who's on the feature?
That's what I'm saying to you.
You know what? We're not laughing. This is just humor through dark
That's what I'm
times.
saying to you, man. Secret covers, undercovers. You know what I mean? It's a Corona's affair, innit? Yeah, that's how it is.
Oh man.
So we gotta keep you entertained. We gotta come out with the one-liners.
We got to come out with something because at the end of the day, people are still hoarding, people are still going mental. You know what I mean? You only have to go to your local supermarket, mate. I went to Lidl yesterday, mate, and I thought to myself, you know what? Let me just see if I can grab something, man. You know what, mate? Nothing. Absolutely.
So we got to listen. So let's shout out the heroes in it, because
You know what? Shout out to them,
Not
man.
all heroes wear capes. You know what I mean?
No. Shout out to the
Supermarket
free
people.
Shout out to the student nurses, student ones that I do for
Student
free.
Student nurses. Shout out to the supermarket people who work in the supermarket. Shout out to people who are looking after the elderly. People who are knocking on people's neighbours, the elderly, checking on them.
100%.
Shout out to all the kids that are coming up with new ways of interacting with their neighbours. That means kicking the ball over and then them kicking the ball over the fence. Shout out to all of the people who are
future
working.
ballers, man.
Yeah, future ballers. But shout out to everybody who's obviously on the front line, innit? You know what I mean? You got bare family and friends, you know what I mean?
18
who are on
hour
the
shifts.
front line.
18-hour shifts, man.
Yeah, shout out to all the people who got compromised immune systems that you and me need to stay the hell away from. Shout them out.
Shout them out.
Shout them out. Shout out, you know what I mean, all the people that are working in the social care. Shout out all the people that who's got bare compassion, that are absolutely showing the love and compassion for one another. People that are like doing the shop runs, people are doing all of that. You know what I mean? So
Big up everyone, man. Big up everyone.
Yeah.
You know
Shout
what I
out
mean?
to them. Shout out to you if you're self-isolating, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? If you're watching the podcast as well, man, shout out to yourself.
Shout out if you're one of the
Secret coffers.
secret coffers, you know what I mean?
Oh man, but
So be careful.
how are you staying active? How you know what I mean? How you?
Well, last night I was raving, man. I was raving last night. You know what I mean? Like I said, I set the laptop up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The camera can't see, but I set my laptop on top of the system.
Was that before you watched the documentary?
Yo, Diego Maradona. Let's talk about that, man.
Diego
if you've not seen this documentary and you're into football, you got love for football, shame on you.
You know what? Shame on myself. I wasn't watching that.
Yo,
last night. I was
shame
watching.
on you. I put
You
it
know
on
what? I was
Facebook,
watching
man.
the Euro '96.
I put it on
when
Facebook.
football nearly came home.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good documentary as well.
You know,
but the Diego Maradona, if you talk about Messi and Ronaldo and talk about great players, if you
Is he your top three?
are you kidding me? He's up there, mate, with Pele. For me, Pele. I mean, people might go Pele like that, but
Pele, though.
listen, Pele.
I'm talking about your top three most watched players.
the top three the people that I have absolute respect for, innit? Like the absolute ballers who came before. Pele for me was out there number one because Pele. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. People are like, but Pele was only playing in Brazil. You know how competitive he was in Brazil?
No pun intended is wearing the Brazil top. Man.
Yo!
You know what I mean? No way.
Yo, Samba in town,
Samba
mate.
dancer.
Samba boys in
Shout out
town.
to all the Brazilians there.
But
man.
also, Pele put the whole world of people on the map, mate. People who got inspired by Pele. Pele, for me, is like one of the original ballers of ballers.
Original ballers, yeah.
Because my guy was taking on man, beating them, coming back, beating them again. And people are like, so what does that mean? Brazil won the World Cup, mate, back in the day.
Yeah.
They got beaten one of the first World Cups in the final. They won one of the 1958 or 52 they won. I think it was one of those years they won the World Cup. Brazil won so many World Cups, 1970 they won. So in Brazil, to win the World Cup, you have to be competitive.
Yeah,
now,
of course.
people talk about counting his goals that he scored.
Yeah,
You know,
I know. People say he was only a player that scored goals.
Nah,
he didn't offer any much more.
Listen, the thing about Pele, what I seen was, he was, can you imagine, like, almost like an athlete, like guy who does right foot, left foot, who can take people on, who can head the ball. Imagine taking Ronaldo from now, Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah, who perfected his strength to play like that.
Yeah, of course.
Taking him back 30 years ago.
When there wasn't all this
And there
sports
wasn't-
science and whatnot.
No, taking him out. That's what Pele was strength. He was strong, mate. People talk about tackles from behind. People talk about fouling. 1966, they kicked Pele out of it. I want you to go on YouTube, most of you, or you can find it online. Watch a documentary about Pele. What happened to Pele, mate? They literally kicked him out of football. Like, the amount of injuries. We're talking about there's savage games. There's a famous game between Argentina and was it Chile? Or Italy and Chile, I think it was. You got either Argentina, Chile, or Italy and Chile, right?
Yeah.
One of those. You can look it up. Where literally people are fighting. Like, I'm playing on. The game's still carrying on.
Wow.
So,
True testament.
what I'm saying to you is that Pele had left foot, right foot. Man can bang goals.
If you were to choose
free
one,
kick, free
one,
kicks.
Pele or Maradona.
Now, Pele, Maradona for me. Pele, Maradona are there.
Who would you
Those
choose out
two-
of one of them two?
Nah, I can't.
You can't.
I can't
But judging
because
by what you see yesterday.
I can't because you know what? It's like the baton. So Pele did what he did, yeah. Pele did what
And-
he did,
yeah, true.
and then passed the baton on to
Passed the
Diego.
baton, yeah.
Diego then
That's
took
a
it
good-
to the
that's a good
next
analogy.
level because without fitness and technology and food and diet, all of those different things, Diego then carried it on. Diego then passed it to ballers.
I reckon Diego was the one that changed the generation of football.
Absolute ballers. Without Diego, Maradona and Pele. That's what people never think. Without having the big, like, for me, Pele is like the Muhammad Ali of football, mate. I don't care what anybody says. And actually, those of you who deek, right, American football, yeah, the closest person to Pele in American football is O.J. Simpson.
Well,
now, I know O.J. Simpson is a character, you know what I mean? He's
yeah.
He's
If
a
you know, you
murderer.
know.
Yo, he's a murderer, mate. He's
No,
a murderer.
no, let's not get into
No,
that.
he's a murderer, mate.
No,
I'm not
listen,
saying that he's a
listen.
murderer, man.
Don't be putting no
My
O.J.
man
Simpson.
shot people
Yeah,
up,
that man
mate.
could be at the door now, yo. Them boys, these
OJ,
guys.
come at me, man. You get sprayed,
What's
mate.
that gonna do?
Yo, just in check, I'll fight him
Listen,
first.
I don't want no AJ guys coming after me, yo. Listen.
I'll make sure first.
I might have a San Diego jumper here, but yo,
I'll
listen.
fight him first, right? I'll spray him, fight him.
I'll be upstairs.
Because then I'll find out that he's not all Corona, spray him first, mate. I ain't fighting you. Are you
Listen,
mad?
man, I've watched everything and I don't think he's done it. Well, that's the conspiracy theories and...
No, they ain't. Yo.
Listen, we'll deal with all
Are
that.
you saying what planet are you? What are you watching?
Listen, I watch a lot, man.
Nah, you
I
ain't
watch a lot.
watching shit. Yo, my
I'm
guy.
a good guy.
Listen to me. My guy wrote a book and said, wrote a book and said, this is how I would have done it if I've done it. You can't get any more glaring than that. My guy, what they have to do is, anyway, we're getting
No.
We're getting
It's one of
sidetracked.
them, yeah.
But
I'm
what I'm
playing
talking about,
them.
listen,
I'm
but
sitting
what
on the
I'm
fence.
No, you're not saying
And
no
I'm going to
fence,
say,
mate.
you know...
Say that,
I'm
mate.
going to say...
See that, man, you're making me waste mine.
The judge
Sanitize the mate.
The judge approved, and what the jury said, it's up to them.
Nah.
You know what I mean? We'll leave
Yo,
it as that.
Shout out Johnny Cochran,
But
man.
going to Maradona, how good was
No.
the documentary?
Maradona is, for me, Pele passed the baton. Maradona was, for me, the guy. Because
Was he the
obviously-
pioneer?
No, in terms of...
technical football, of tight spaces.
No, because you know what? People don't talk about him, but this is what I'm going to do is the old man in it. The old man, especially as I'm repping the Brasilia. You know what I mean? It's like a continent, mate. You need to go there, people.
You know what? I'm not
You know
been
what I
there,
mean? You need to go there.
Cabana Beach.
Yo, trust me, it's a continent, mate. It's an absolute continent. It's a continent.
Shout out to them, man.
You know what I mean? Like Brazil is so big. It's surreal, man. It's surreal how big Brazil is. But anyway, shout out to all footballing loving nation. Shout out to everybody, man. But yeah, maybe we could talk about. Maybe you can ask me questions, so we can do another podcast.
Yeah,
You
of
know, man,
course,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
Brazil. You know what I
But
mean?
for you,
But
in
for
terms-
me,
yeah,
but,
sorry.
but Maradona. So Pele passed on the baton to Maradona. Now Maradona to me did the hardest. And you know what? So even in the Brazil team that Pele was part of, in Brazil, some people didn't think Pele was the best. People they thought Carinthia. Carinthia was a guy that was born with a leg that's smaller than the other. He came from poverty, and literally the tragic story about him is that he died in the most tragic ways. Right?
Yeah.
He's like. Research him, Carinthia. If you type in Carinthia, you know what I mean? You don't even, if you don't know how to spell it, you can just Google it, Carinthia, it'll come up.
Yeah.
Footballer, absolute baller. Talk about original wingers that take people on. Chop back,
see you later.
put the ball in across, absolute techers. Talk about naturally gifted techniques. But what Diego did, for me, the hardest thing in football I've ever seen, when I play football or when I watch football, the hardest thing in football is from a standing position to beat players.
Of course.
Not while you're running, not while you're on the run. from a standing position.
You used to almost
cut
wait
back.
for the defenders to
Listen,
come and say, yo, are you going to come sell it to the shops?
That's it.
Sell it to the...
Yo, we're talking about the original send shop. You know what I mean? Talk about.
If you can't find food from Lidl...
Shop sender.
If you can't find food from us, no. You know what I mean?
Yo,
you come down there.
Yo, listen, even though there was no shops, he was sending, Pele and Maradona was sending people to the shops. You know what I mean? In the future. They were sending you to the future, mate.
You know,
they were doing time travel, mate.
Shout out to that movie, Back to the Future.
Yo, they were doing time travel, mate. They were making you time travel, mate. They were sending you.
Oh,
but
man.
Anyway, so then in Britain we have people like George Best. George
Best, what a player.
He has to come into the conversation. Not that he's a United legend.
Of course.
You know what I mean? We could be biased. He's a United legend. But he was the only one when
That's one player everyone talks to. I talk to many older fans and they always say to me, if you guys want to see George Best, and the way people talk about him, man, I wish I could have seen him, man. That was a player.
My guy,
I wish I could have just went back in time.
Ahead of his time. Like, beating people, then waiting for them, then coming back and beating them. Like, he would come back and beat them, and then run, and then think, right, stop and wait for them to catch him up, and then beat him again. Like, that's the things that there was levels to this dribbling.
Is that your best type of player in terms of like person that just could beat a man?
No, for me, it's the hardest thing in football because football is a team game. So you can
of course.
There's things you can do, move.
But people had arrogance like Maradona.
But Maradona, like, all I've got to say to you guys, right? I know it's painful. 86, right? Because this documentary shows it. It was on last night. It's on Channel 4.
Oh, man,
if those of you who are not living in the UK, you can Google certain things, how to watch things on British TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll leave it there. You know what I mean? I'll leave it there.
I'll
You
leave
can
it
Google it. You can find a documentary. If you're online, you can find that documentary.
What documentary is your best documentary, by the way?
Well, to me, that's one of the best I've seen.
Because we're going to talk about first football documentaries.
That's one of the best. That's one of the documentaries.
One of the best ones.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to Diego, he was one of the best players to beat people standing up, and he had the balance. The thing about Diego was that he's literally his sense of low gravity. The world wasn't ready for that. Weren't ready for man like his build.
Yeah.
Chunky. Do you know what I mean? Who can beat people because his low sense of gravity. Because he came from one of the poorest neighborhoods.
Yeah. Poof.
Buenos Aires, mate. Buenos Aires, capital of Argentina.
Shout out to the guys at Argentina watching this,
right?
by the way.
One of the poorest places, and this kid was pure genius. Do you know what I talk? People talk about gifts. People talk about God gives you gifts, like God-given talent. This is what it is with Diego. It was pure God-giving talent. The other thing that people might not think about Diego Maradona, he loved music, so he could dance any style of music.
Of course.
Diego Maradona is a dancer, and the best goal that shows it is the greatest World Cup goal in the history of World Cups.
What it is?
Come at me. That guy, Red Devil, and I'll send you Back to the Future as well, mate.
What a goal that
If
was.
you tell me that's not the goal, that is the best goal in the
Better than the
history
Cambiasso goal in the
Are you
2006
kidding me?
World Cup.
It's the best goal by absolute none. Because you know why? It's like he's dancing. He picks the ball up inside his own half.
Unbelievable.
And for the next, 10 or 12 seconds or 13 or 14 seconds, he's dancing. He's dancing.
That's it through a maze.
He's dancing because if you look at it, he grabs the ball, he does the pirouette, he gets it, he chops in, chops back in, and then he runs. Then chops in, then chops back, drops short and taps it into the goal. Listen to, and when you watch that documentary, the commentator's words, you cannot sum that. Talk about commentators rising to the occasion.
Yeah, of course.
That commentator just said it. It's like, this is, thank God for Maradona. Like,
Do you know what? I'm going to have to watch that tonight.
So
Definitely going to watch that
that goal, he scored that goal for me. It's the greatest World Cup goal. But because he loved music and he loved dancing, his body and the way he moved, that's why it was ability to do what he did and do damage. An 86 World Cup is no other footballer.
For me,
no other footballer.
Your best World Cup
has run.
Obviously, you weren't that very.
To me,
your best World Cup.
The best World Cup. You know what? Shout out. You know those guys on the ball, off the ball.
Yeah.
You know the Irish.
Yeah.
You know the Irish. Shout them out, man. Shout them out.
Shout out to you, man.
Yo, shout out off the ball. Yesterday they had when I was doing bits, cleaning and all that, where I should have been raving, going for meals and stuff like that for my birthday.
No restaurants, by the way.
I'm on the podcast, innit? And they did that amazing yesterday, so you can find it on YouTube. Off the ball.
Yeah.
They did this amazing where all the journalists were talking about reminiscing about Northern Ireland's one of the greatest moments of Northern Ireland history. Northern Ireland beat Spain. You know what I mean?
Oh, it was a
82 World
82
Cup.
World Cup.
Now that's a World Cup I need to find. Those of you who can find it, please let us know in the comments, because I'm searching for my computer and I got tired looking for it and I couldn't find it. But what I want to do is I want to watch that, because on that is one of the greatest Brazilian teams never to ever. They say the best team never ever to win a World Cup is that. So we could talk about the Dutch team as well, and you can say the Dutch team 74 and 78.
Yeah.
The two they were the best footballing nation, Holland, to never win a football World Cup, but they produced some scintillating football. But that, one of my heroes, still, you see, coming back to it today, you know, it's just a big coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Man's out there in the sunshine, bring the colours out, you know that, innit?
We're talking about you watched Diego Maradona.
So I've seen Diego Maradona and I watched Diego Maradona, but watching this documentary, watching the '86 World Cup and what he did, and I've watched him in it because I love Diego as a character, as a human being. There's aspects of Diego. He's not perfect. He's a human being. He has his faults. You know what I mean?
But if you watch the documentary, as a footballer, people don't remember footballer and post-footballer.
No. But it don't matter. Even
I'm saying it doesn't matter.
Listen,
I'm saying as a footballer, you have to regard him as one of the greats.
Listen. Like, for me, as a human being as well, because I understand nobody's perfect. So I'm not projecting that on him.
When they say to you Messi or Maradona,
nah. Listen.
Could you
football has changed?
Is it hard to compare them to them?
Yeah. It's football has changed. So let me just finish on Jim. I'll talk about. So if any of you can find in 1982, and let me say what the guys off the ball were saying, that World Cup was one of the best World Cups. It was a hot World Cup. It was in Italy won, right? But it was a mad World Cup with so much controversy.
Of course. One
of the most famous games ever in the history of disgraceful World Cup football matches in the history of World Cups is a game between Poland and West Germany, where to kick out, I think, Algeria, they had to play out 1-1 or 0-0 or whatever, and they were like just passing the ball around. And even the German fans were kicking off. The Polish people were kicking off, like saying, "What are you doing? How can you disgrace us?" But they were like, "Nah," because it's the first time I think it had Africans, like two teams of Africa. Definitely Cameroon was there, and Algeria were there, and they like shock up the world, mate. Northern Ireland, like small nations. Well, Algeria is not a small nation; it's a big footballing nation in terms of football.
And Cameroon was
Cameroon,
so good. Cameroon,
mate, Roger Miller.
Yo, what a player he was.
So anyway, those of you can find it. Maybe if we can find it and we watch the '82 World Cup, we can come back and talk about the '82 World Cup. But shout out to Off the Ball guys.
Yeah, of course.
Because they were talking about it all, and it was brilliant to listen. Yeah. And some of them, they were old enough to see it, to watch it. Do you know what I mean? So it was amazing. But Diego Maradona for me is one of the G's. Like I said, Pele passed the baton, and in between them there were ballers like Coringino, Jarzinho, you know, and Revellino. Like 1970 World Cup. 1970 World Cup. This is what the original colours were 1970 World Cup in it. This is the Don I'm Donning. But 1970 World Cup was another World Cup that was amazing, like in colour. I think it was the first World Cup that was in proper colour. Like, so the football, like that game, that final Italy-Brazil, incredible. Do you know what I mean? That pass from Pele, like the Pele, the football intelligence, the football IQ of Pele, next level.
Different level.
So when people talk about it, was just Pele did not just have a natural gift, talent for goal. He had a football intelligence. It's a pass up.
Yeah, of course.
He does for Carlos. Something Carlos who became the
Alberto.
Yes, Carlos Alberto. He basically gets the ball, waits. He knows he's coming. He plays it out there.
The football
he knows
IQ.
the timing of it.
Of when they're coming.
Yeah, so Pele was like a guy who's going back from the future, went back into football like that. That's why he was stronger than everyone. He was more athletic than anyone else. He had amazing stamina. He could take people on. You watch it. You get on. Check what he was doing in Brazilian league. Like how many guys he could take on. Chop back, chop in, chop back, bang, headers. Left foot, right foot, you know what I mean? Strength, hold up the ball. And man are chopping him, you know. Man are taking him out, getting up.
Different level.
You know what? So, Maradona took the most. So the question marks I have against Messi and Ronaldo, or I had I have against this generation, especially in the last decade of some of the greatest footballers to witness, is that the tackle from behind wasn't allowed anymore.
Of course. Pass backs.
Yeah, pass backs, all that rule came along. So football changed. Football changed in terms of fitness, diet. Ronaldo became Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? He became an absolute
They did it through the hard times. That's why you respect them more.
Yeah, those guys, Diego Maradona, Brazilian Ronaldo, Pele, and every other baller that was around them days, right? In their duties, like the Rivaldos, the Zidanes, you know what I mean? There's different positions of footballers, right?
Yeah.
But the all-time baller match winners, Pele, Diego Maradona, And then all the other Georgie Best, obviously Georgie Best. Bobby Charlton was an absolute baller as well. Don't get it twisted, people. Bobby Charlton in his day. That's when people go, who was the greatest? Like, greatest in what generation?
There you go.
But the greatest in terms of impact. The greatest in terms of impact, right, is the players who inspired generations, mate.
Let's go. Let's fast track 10 more years after that. Euro '96. I was watching a documentary last night. Euro '96, unbelievable. You know what it was? It felt like a moment where I thought, you know what? I wish I was old enough to be at that moment. And in '96 World Cup, obviously I was probably about 3.
No, 96
Euros. 96 Euros. Sorry, 96 Euros. I was watching that, and we're talking about documentaries, and what, you know what, man, Terry Venables, man, this guy, you know what, if he'd have carried on, maybe gone into '98 World Cup, I think we could have won it.
Now, '98 World Cup, England had a decent team as well.
They had a decent team. And I look at that squad.
They had Glenn Hoddle, who was quite a tactician.
Yeah, but I look at that, man, I'm thinking, why on earth did Gareth Southgate take that penalty? There was Paul Ince. There was players there.
They didn't step up, you know. They didn't step up. Some of them didn't step up.
That was such a moment where I thought we were doing so well. We smacked up Holland, man.
Listen,
Holland.
There's no shame in losing.
No shame in losing. We were so close.
Yeah,
I was watching that almost in like, they were all talking about being proud, but I was like, that's.
No, I'm proud because you know why? One thing I'm proud about Gareth Southgate, it's made him look at the character he's become.
Yeah, of course.
Something negative like that. You don't understand. The nation hated him. I never hated any footballer to miss a penalty. I'd be gutted, but I remember the only penalty taker that I thought, come on, I was so angry with was Berbatov. At one of the finals at Wembley, I think it was the League Cup or the FA Cup, whatever.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, where he just
Everton.
Yeah, he just basically.
Yeah, that's Berbatov, classic Berbatov.
He was
didn't
just
care.
Lethargic, but
yeah.
The nerves.
You was there at Euro '96. Obviously, I was not. I was very young.
Man, sneaking how Old Trafford, mate. You know, those of you know, right?
To watch the
sneaking into Old Trafford,
Czech Republic guy.
Czech Republic, Germany.
That chip. Oh
yeah, Czech Republic, Germany, and we watched
the Croatia game.
No, we watched. One of the best games I've ever seen was France against Spain. Zidane against Raul, mate. Raul. Crazy. So we tried to.
They were fairly young by then, weren't they?
But yeah, we were like teenage. We're like just teenage. You know what I mean? On a teenage tip, but it was mad walking from the hood.
For him.
From the hood, mate. From my side straight up to Old Trafford, mate. And
what was the buzz like? The shots.
The buzz. You don't understand how hard for me. It was like football paradise.
How did you?
If you're into football,
did you go in there?
Is that okay?
How on earth did you go into Old Trafford?
Are you kidding?
Sneaked in.
Back in the day, it was like turnstiles that were low. And to be fair, big up the massive stewards, yeah. These elderly man, a lot of them Irish people, you know what I mean? Irish man and that. Yo, big them up, man. Big them up. True Mancunians, innit? Like proper community people. They would be like looking at us, you know what I mean? When the supervisor comes, they used to give us a wink, innit? Not now, you know what I mean? Kind of, because they would want us, because they knew we loved football, innit? And sometimes they would like play on it, you know what I mean? Yell it off, you know, yell it off, shit, get out of here. We jump over and then we run, but we used to just cap in the toilets till everybody sits down. If you, that's why we try not to get in too early, because you're in the toilets, mate, and people are banging down the door. What? How long have you been in there? Matty, watch it go on. Well, anyway,
what's your
so you would sneak in, jump over the tail, and run up the stairs, try to find the nearest toilet, right? Whatever area of the ground you were. Then you had to basically, you had to just hold it and then wait to wait around, try to not go and sit down, because the worst thing is when you sat down, the stewards inside the ground were harsher, because they'll be like, come on, you little shit, grabbing you there,
seriously,
taking you, saying, go on, you got to go, you know what I mean? They're kicking you out, so you have to just wait. You have to wait
till a goal or kind of a moment.
No. You just wait till everybody sits in. Like, so you wait like 5 or 10 minutes. Then everybody's in, and then you go and find. But there was always seats in it, or just stand somewhere or whatever.
Okay, of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or just, you know what I mean? Back in the day, some people could stand a little bit, especially on the Stretford end. Like,
but at Euros, man.
I always wanted to sneak into Stretford.
So you don't have any regrets? Do you feel proud of that?
Yeah, it
kind of
amazing.
The feeling that it brought the nation.
Just amazing, just how amazing it was. Like, it was the most. I would say it was one of the most. It was like a football heaven. Could you imagine for 6 weeks all around Anfield, Wembley? You know what I mean? Like Goodison Park. All football, like all around Villa Park, all the iconic stadiums, iconic teams. Football. You come home, football is on, mate. Football is on good time, so you're not watching it at mad time of the hour, because it's in the UK. You know what I mean? And to me, it devastates me. It hurts me. Like, how come we couldn't have the World Cup here? Like, Britain deserves to get the World Cup. Are you kidding me? Britain and Ireland, get it together, mate. Bid. That's what you have to do now. Bid. Like, bid.
Bid, yeah.
Bid the World Cup.
Before our lifetime, you know what I mean? You hope to see one.
We have to see that. Like,
so that for me, that for you, bro, did that bring football to you?
I remember the shops, everybody decoration, England flags. Taxi drivers, England.
Oh, man.
Like, everywhere you went in the summer, it was one of the best summers. Like, just people just... You don't understand. People who are not into football,
Of course.
all jump on the bandwagon because it's all love.
Yeah,
it's all different cultures.
Of course. My earliest moment of like England football would have to be 2002 World Cup in primary school. You know what I mean? Going waking up in the mad morning, 7 in the morning, seeing England versus Nigeria, the absolute boring draw. You know what I mean? Seeing England versus. But for me, the killer blow, my absolute killer blow, has to be Brazil. Ronaldinho over the top. I'm not even kidding you. We're in school. We got told you can come early to watch it. Back in the day, primary school, they'd be like, you know what? If you come early, we can all watch it. The whole nation was still came there. England doing well. I thought we were in the game. Two more brilliant. Ronaldinho.
That step over to Ashley Young. There's a moment in that game, guys. Please check it out. If you can find it, just find it. You can find it on YouTube. It might be a
What
small
a player,
clip.
Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho does his step over. Ashley Young, one of the best left backs in the world.
The shots.
Absolute best in the shot. My guy gets dizzy, mate. Like he's dizzy. Like he's fatiguing. Like he's like the ground's. His legs got heavy, and then he's like he's almost gonna.
Only
fall.
the best could do that.
It's just like kind of slip. He slips like lethargic kind of thing. But anyway, it was that three up front, mate. You got to see the
triple R.
Ronaldinho, Ronaldo with his little
Yeah.
That's why the people who say I look like him, you know, understand?
Oh, give over.
Especially when I'm done in this, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's the only thing that's helping me.
No. Anyway, I wish I had this little bit, this inch, a sand
Of his, ability.
of his ability, mate. He was an absolute baller. But anyway, to me, it was redemption because that's. So you asked me who do I think is the greatest players, but who do I love the most? Ronaldo. Ronaldo, El Fenomenal.
You know what?
Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo for me was my generation of seeing a baller in my generation.
It's this year today, 2003. This year today, when 2003, the 3-0. I see today was the
2000
on this day in 2003.
Yeah,
Ronaldo scored that hat trick.
Old Trafford. One of the only times he talks about it in his career where he's ever got stadium clapping him when he come off as a substitute. It was one of the most, like, hairs at the back of my neck, like, you know what I mean? Watching it on TV, everybody clapping him, I was like, and the commentator going, he's getting a fantastic reception here, Ronaldo, from the Old Trafford faithful, and I was like, you know what? Better know where you are, Ronaldo. You are at Man United. Fans who know their football, mate. Who know their football. Who recognise great when they see great. Who recognise great, who put a respect on your name, mate. No other stadium has he ever had that kind of people clapping him. He come off that pitch, mate, and he says he'll never forget that moment. Never. To be an away player, to get a standing ovation in a game that meant so much to the fans, because it was one of the best games. It was a classic Man United attack, mate. We're going to attack. Both teams couldn't defend, they couldn't attack. Just, you know what I mean? Both teams couldn't defend. In terms of, we couldn't because they had phenomenal players, but we attacked them and we won that game. People forget that we won that game. We went out on away goals, and the result that it was in Madrid.
Yeah,
you know
that
I mean?
cost us.
Yeah, that cost us. But to me, he is my of people of my generation. He is, and I'm all of us like in my generation. He was the guy. I remember him buck tooth. Like he looked like he had that bit of a Suarez thing going.
Yeah.
Like that flaws. I remember watching him one game. I think he might have been PSV, but people talking about him, Brazilian Ronaldo. And guess who was? Gudjonsson. Those of you who know in the Premier League, Gudjonsson used to play for Bolton and Chelsea.
Yeah.
The Icelandic footballer. His dad was a baller as well, footballer. That's the thing as well. Another thing, I'll give you this. Gudjonsson and his dad played for the national team. Not many. Can you imagine? Tell me in the comments how many other father or son played together for their national team.
Yeah, you know what? Not a lot.
Gudjonsson and his dad played. Anyway, devastating. He went to Barcelona. And then that's what I was doing, everything to try to watch anything of Barcelona, try to find anywhere.
But you said that was when his career stalled.
Yeah, well, no, when he went to Barcelona.
They started clipping him up.
No. They didn't even foul him. He was baller. But when he went to Italy, I remember one of my friends, shout out Kazim telling me Ronaldo's gone to Inter Milan. And my heart sinking because I knew watching Italian football, mate. Those of you who know one in the age, guy called Bergami. You got defenders like Bergami, guys who
a lot of players.
They would just chop you, mate, and make sure. This is what I'm talking about. So I talked about Pele, but literally Spain destroyed. Spain, they kicked him everywhere. Maradona. He went to Italy, the worst league for get kicks, and they kicked him some more. Like really battered kicked him. And then in the World Cup, they kicked him. In 1990, they kicked him out of the World Cup. Like. He still took Argentina to the final, but they kicked him out of the World Cup, like Maradona. And then '94, some stupidness. The Americans and FIFA and all that try to say that out because he's got some condition. He's on drugs. All of that madness, mate. All of that is madness. They found him because when they did the test, that he took something that was on the ban list that he didn't know about because he has some breathing problems or something like that. I'm on Diego's camp, mate. Diego,
you know what? I can understand
that. Diego, mate. and they stopped us from getting the pleasure of watching him. And he still had it. He was a fat that he trained so hard to get fit. Because he's a small, stocky guy. So when he wasn't playing football, he loves eating. So my guy's eating and balloons up. That's been part of his career.
So in terms of obviously the 96 World Cup, the Euros went up. So footballing for you in terms of your memories growing up and how
it was just mad. Like all of the great players, like the striker for me, one of the best strikers was Davo Suka for Croatia.
Oh, that chip.
That Davo Suka.
Oh my brilliant days, mate.
Davo Suka is a you know what I mean? He's not a nice guy these days in life.
Footballing, let's stick to football.
No, but I'm just
let's stick to football.
That's why I said no. I don't separate the man from the footballer.
No, come on, let's not.
I don't, mate. Listen, this is.
You're not separating Diego Maradona, but you're not separating this guy.
No, because
separate the football.
Because my guy's into some neo-fascist, mate.
I get it, but let's.
You don't get jack, mate. You're not telling me.
Let's see that shit. Let's follow the shit though.
Davo Suka, footballer, absolute baller. I just don't like the fact that now he's some sort of a neo-fascist.
Well,
he's surrounding himself with fascists. You know what I mean? Or there's fascists. He's got fascist tendencies. Let's put it that way. Yeah, so, far right.
So let's talk about
Davo Suka, amazing.
Yeah.
Denmark, Czech Republic, absolute ballers. Bobovsky, Nedved.
Yeah,
absolute players.
And in terms of club level, when you growing up, the club level.
Man United for me. Man United. My uncle took me to see one game with Man United.
What game was that?
Mark Hughes. I think it was 1990 United against Ipswich. I think it was 1990-91 season. United against Ipswich at Old Trafford. I think it was Ipswich. Mark Hughes, mate.
That's why you think he's your best player.
That's the reason. No, I'm saying that. One of the reasons why I support Mark Hughes because Mark Hughes did an overhead kick. And he just missed. He went over, but he did an overhead kick. But the way he did it was the most perfect technique I've ever seen. But Mark Hughes was famous. Little did I know that Mark Hughes was famous for that. He was if the ball was about this height,
so why they call this Marky? Just because of his.
No. Don't make specific about Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes in general, he's quite dry. Quite dry in terms of sense of humour. Nice guy, really nice top guy. On a football pitch, absolute beast. His legs.
Tag legs.
Size of my legs and my head, mate. His legs were like that. We got some tickets near the pitch side, so I could see him holding off defenders. Chest in that ball. Ball comes 60 yards, but like that. Chest in that ball like that. Holding it. Touch, playing it off. Just the way he was athletic. He was just, and then when he got off the ground to do the scissors kick like that.
Jeez.
He got off the ground and went bang like that. I was like,
see you later.
I was like, who the hell are you? And then I remember the next day when we were playing football, I'm like, cross it. Big grazes on my back, mate. I was doing it on concrete. Can you believe that? Shout out to Juicy Court. Those of you who know Juicy Court, mate.
Juicy Court, man. Yo.
Platfield Park.
Those are the days.
No, Platfield. No. Sorry, Whitworth Park.
Shout out to that, man. That's the pioneer of grassroots football.
Yo, Juicy Court, I'm trying an overhead kick on concrete, mate. Are you kidding me? Just because of Mark Hughes. So Mark Hughes sparked that in me, to be that.
How was Juicy Court, by the way?
Say that again?
How was Juicy Court? A lot of people talk about Juicy Court.
Yeah, yeah.
And how,
I remember living there. And then as soon as I come out, boom, there you go. It's the flats we used to live in, the flats in Juicy Court there. Right next to Whitworth Park.
Did you go to Juicy High School?
Yeah, I went to Juicy. I went to Claremont.
Oh man,
Claremont.
listen, let's.
Yo.
No, I went to Claremont, so let's put on that one, man. Respect on that, man.
Yeah, yeah.
They had a lot of people out there from the, West Brown and all that. Man used to go Claremont, man.
A lot of people did. A lot of people
man.
went to all these different kind of schools. But yeah, I don't know if West Brown went to Claremont, but I think
he went Claremont. I'm sure he went Claremont.
I think he might have been alongside in his school.
Do you know? This is a funny fact, People don't remember this, but Rio Ferdinand once, when he was on his drug ban, came to our school on our gate to talk to us for about 5-10 minutes. People don't realise that, There was a guy called Raheem Hanley. Shout out to Raheem Hanley. He made
I know Raheem Hanley.
Raheem Hanley made it to United, and then he was aspiring to play for United. He's under, for the. I think he now plays for Nottingham, I think like that, or some team anyway. Northampton, I think it is. But he came to us, when he was on, and I think this was on his band because we was in high school, we was in primary school from 2000 to 2005. So for me, he was on his band. When did he come on his band?
I don't remember now.
It must have been 2003, 4.
Something like that.
But he was on there.
I
he used, when did he used to go to do all this? You know what? Let's not talk about that.
Yeah,
people used to say that he's smoking weed and all that.
Yeah.
But he used to come to Moss Side as well. Famous by his curry goat and
No. He used to come to my side because he used to get a haircut
as well. You know what I mean?
Like Andy Cole,
Richie's.
Listen, Richie's. My barber back in the day.
Shout out to Richard, man. If you know barber,
Andy Cole, all the footballers used to come there, mate.
Everyone used to come there.
All of them used to come
Even
there.
so now,
so can you imagine walking in your barbers? Can you imagine stepping into your barbers, and you see your heroes? Like that's something beautiful. Like in terms of like.
I remember seeing.
Like
I have seen Andy Cole.
Like the culture. You know what I mean? Like the culture because they're playing like nice music, like West Indian music playing. You know.
So you came into the barbers.
Next door.
You came into the barbers and you seen
Andy Cole, Dwight York.
Dwight York as well.
Andy Cole.
So what was the first thing you know what I mean?
Because I met the most footballer from United that I've met the most and chatted to the most in my life.
It's Andy Cole.
Andy Cole.
You know what? I met him in Bruges.
My guy, shout out to Andy Cole, mate. Absolute humble.
You know what? I met him in Bruges, The guy is an absolute humble guy. You know what I mean? The guy stood up for the whole game watching United. He is a Man United fan. I'm telling you now. Obviously, then you grew up in Juicy Court, playing football from there. Then you went up to grass level.
Yeah, so then playing football, playing in primary school. I was one of the only people ever to get banned at primary football because I was obsessed with football. Kids like me, come from East Africa. Come from East Africa, come to another culture, come to another country, diet, food, come to a bare coldness, and the only way I could communicate is what? Football, mate.
Yeah.
That's what the beauty about football. We're talking about when we love football. Football, there's 3 things. Like, music is a universal language. Football is a universal language. And I've got to say it, the bud is a universal language.
Well.
Let me break it down for them.
Obviously. I don't do that stuff, but
Listen.
We don't do, we keep that saying, you get me? We keep it, Respect to that.
Why they universal
Shout out to the people now, by the way, 420 and all that.
420 massive.
Keep your man there.
Keep growing that.
I don't know what you're going to do this year.
Everybody's growing, innit? Everybody's homegrown now, innit? Because there ain't no police coming to you, yeah? There ain't nobody going arrested you, innit? Everybody's homegrown.
Everyone's home, man.
That ain't homegrown, mate. That's not me. I love the smell of it. But it's not for me. You don't agree with me anyway. Because I was into football anyway.
Yeah, of course.
So it's one of the reasons why I'm not into like drinking or not saying that I look down on people who are because I understand that music. Music does that for me. Like I get high of music. You know what I mean? I get high of football.
And you don't need to drink to have a good time.
That's what I'm saying. All of those. So people who drink and people who
fair play to them.
I totally understand after working a hard week.
Of course.
That you need to just get into a different space. Do you know what I mean? Like I would be experimental with things that are natural, like that from the ground, from the earth. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Be experimental, but the things that get me anyway. So I said football, music, and the weed are universal. That's my life experience. I've travelled different places around the world. Music, people are welcoming. Everybody's jamming because music, you just dance in it, you move in it.
It brings people together.
Especially you've got African blood like us. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, man. We know how to dance as well.
Yeah, we gave the world music anyway.
You know what I mean?
But anyway, football is the only thing ever. You could get like a bottle, right? Get bare socks, bare socks to wrap it up. Get plastic bags, wrap it up and make a football. You don't even need a football.
You know what?
So in terms of like cost, like what it's gonna cost you, you could get
a flyaway down the bottom of the road. You know what I mean?
You're outside, you could get a stone, you could make that one of the goals, and then
Get your bags, get your coat.
get something else.
You know what I mean?
Get something else. Like even keys like that and go like that. That's the goal. Like that's the goal. That's where the goal is, right? So you could use any piece of material that's out in nature to say that's the goal. This is our goal. This is your goal. And you can play. I've been to different parts of the world where there's pure poverty and people ain't got nothing. But you know what? People are just wrapped.
How key is it for young kids to still play? Yeah.
Listen, wrap pure plastic bags together, and then somebody's done something to it, and it's like a ball. It kind of moves like a ball. So,
how key is it now for kids nowadays? You know what I mean? To find some kind of, whether it's sport or whatnot, but in terms of football. You know what I mean? How it brought joy to us, you know what I mean? Even though we were sold dreams as a kid, you know what I mean? Remember playing, you know, grassroots football when he was a kid, and you were told, you know what I mean, you're going to play for in those parts of the world and whatnot, and it never came true. But how do you reckon is it key now, more than ever now, especially with this coronavirus? We have to find a passion for football, and just because you know what it's like now without football. Look at us now, you know what I mean?
I don't know what you did to my ball, but is it a ball ever away from me, lad?
Exactly.
This is my gaff, mate. Ball's there.
Tennis ball, even if it's a tennis ball.
The ball is there, mate. It's like a little tennis football ball, and I'm kicking. I come out in the morning, get up in the morning, boom, before I even get ready for work, before I'm doing.
I mean, how many kick-ups are you doing?
Cup of the tea, just kicking it against the walls, mate. Just to kick something. Just to keep that muscle memory, you know what I mean? Just to kick something. So there's bare kids, like I said, those creative kids who are basically doing. So if you've got two sets of kids, families living next door to each other, they've got the gap, the fence that separates the garden. You know how the people do like two bounce tennis? You know,
of course, yeah.
Kids are doing that.
Yeah.
The kids were doing that. I've seen it on Twitter and bare social media where two kids on this side, two kids on this side, they're kicking it to each other and then lobbing it over, and then kicking it to each other, lobbing it over.
That's a good idea.
That's what I'm saying to you. So there is ways. Most of you who live in houses have got a little garden. Get out there, kids. Don't get lazy. Get out there. Just have a little play around. Like even if it's you just kicking the ball against the wall, get out there. Even if you got one or two balls, you kick a ball. So you basically hit the wall. The ball comes to me, and you're that far away from me.
You can play anything, man.
Yeah.
What were the games back in the day? You know what I mean? Longies and whatnot, and just there's so many games, man. There's a game called Harsin. I don't know if you know, but Snyder. You know what I mean? Where you kick the ball, and, you know what I mean? You play a game of a group of you, and you have to kick the person out, and you always kick the person out who's the best one. You know, I don't know if you played that.
Nah,
you can play bins. You know what I mean? Bins. You play bins.
Yeah. We used to play Wembley.
Wembley's a big game. You know what I mean?
Wembley,
I love bins, man. When you have
and then we used to do crosses as headers and volleys.
Oh my!
Big up the headers and volley, massive.
What about the
headers? I never used to jump.
And then you hit the arse on that.
Yeah,
you can do the arse, or you can do the tunnel of death.
You used to do all of that, man.
Listen, man. Oh my! And shout out to the court, man. You remember playing in the court?
Yeah.
In the Western Street.
Of course.
The little court, man. Oh my days, man.
Yo, shout out to the court. Shout out to Juicy Court. This is all in the radius of Rushall Moss side.
Rushall Moss side, man. You know what I mean? And
football, and that's what kept us off the the madness.
Streets, man.
The madness that was going on.
You know what? But growing up with Moss side, tell him about Moss side. How
football saved my life, mate. And the other thing I was talking about, so the three things, I said football, I said music, and then weed. Because I've been different places of the world, and people in the party, and there's people dancing, and somebody steps out to smoke a bit of bud. People are like giving it to you, and I'm like, easy now. I'm good. I'm good.
We're good.
I'm good. But that is a universal thing. So it's like a way. You don't have to speak the language. It's through
expression.
Universal language.
You know what? That's very, very true. I was in Barcelona. There's a guy from Bolivia, and he didn't know any of English, but he was sat down, enjoying the view, enjoying the view of Barcelona. But we still found a way of communicating.
Of course.
Just through like
body language, mate.
Body language, and I knew a bit of Spanish. No, I don't know a lot. I'm trying to learn it, but I knew a bit of it, and just to
you understand,
understand.
Body language, man.
Body language.
80% of humans communicate with their body language.
You know what? That is very, very true.
Especially from cultures where you use your body and you're very expressive with your body.
And you say like, you know, you want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what?
You want to do it? Yo. Move back to your space, mate. You're encroaching, mate. This is the wall, mate. Move back, mate.
You're gonna make me blind, man. I'm gonna police you now, man.
You know what? Move back, lad.
But you know what, man? Growing up in Moss side, how's it been for you? Like, you know, people always assume Moss side has been just gangs and shootings and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Listen,
Moss side brings a lot of culture, man. You know what I mean? A lot of culture and arts, and
you know what? It's like the safest place in Manchester because it's where you grew up. So you know, safest place to grow up. is safest place to grow up for me. It's Moss Side because you know who you know.
You know who you were.
Yeah.
You know where people are.
You know, now and again, I get on my bike and I take down memory lane, just the roads, Broadfield Road, Green Street. That's where I live.
Grave Street. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Grave Street.
You know what I'm talking about, like Claremont Road. You know what I mean? The Claremont. Just step outside that pub and go. The madness that used to go in there.
Somali cafes.
Listen, we used to send people there that you didn't want. People that would go, where's the best place to go? And you didn't like them, or they were giving you attitude. Especially Londoners. Because we used to go to raves in London, right? And they would send us the wrong way always, thinking that they were funny. So every time, I know that this is bad because when Londoners used to come here, I would send them to the Claremont. Claremont is one of those places when you walked in, if you didn't know people, your keys were gone.
Keys are gone.
Your wallets are gone. your trainers are gone.
Telling you.
You used to just get dashed that side out the back, and then they used to lock the door and go, what? So that's the kind of place that... If walls could talk, if you could pull the camera onto the Claremont, if the walls could talk, if the doors, if the going inside could tell stories, that's it. That's you, mate. That's the content. So I'm saying to you, so it was a beautiful place to go. Rich, vibrant, mixture of
Caribbean parties.
Yeah.
Like
yo, the blues,
livelihood.
Yo, big up those people who know about the blues. Yeah. Like most of my musical education is like sneaking out late night, mate. Top out of the window, sneak. Just how man being told, you know what? Literally climbing out the window, hold on a leg, drop, looking at it.
Yeah.
But once you do it once,
that's it. Everything's all good.
Because everybody's telling me the blues. You go into the blues, light, dark blue. So we got to thank a lot for the Caribbean culture coming from like East Africa.
Cause like,
do you know what I mean? And like
after a bit of
all of the Rastas. Yeah, there's always settling in period, isn't it?
Settling period, you know what I mean? We didn't really communicate.
Where people had to get the fist up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had to get your fist up, mate. You had to get your fist up. After that, it became to your butt. Big up all the Rastas, man. That's one thing I've got nothing but love for the Rastas, innit? Because when they knew that you were African, they would give you love. Because I remember, I'm part of that generation of Africans, of East Africans, who came to this country as kids, who people were not proud to be African, who are African, man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because people used to get bullied for being like, they used to use words like African booty scratcher and all that. I know that's American words, but they'll use all of this madness, And I'm the part of that generation that were like, nah, we're proud, mate. We're proud. Let's fist it out. Let's fist it out. But big up all the Rastas, man. Rastas always recognise. Big up the on Claremont Road, HQ. Big up HQ, mate.
Big up, man.
People talk about, oh yeah, I'm a vegan now. I'm talking about when I was like 10, 11 years old, mate. Around there, Rastas over there eating vegan, plant-based food. Like feeding me, playing football with me. You know what I mean? My guy had techers. Yeah. So I'm talking about the richness of the community. Big up, man, like, you know what I mean? All the Asian people and the Muslim people that live there as well. Giving me jobs like paper rounds to do, you know what I mean? Well, man's 12, 13.
Shout out to Great Western Street, you know what I mean?
The whole of the neighbourhood chasing me. All of them G's, all of the them chasing man when I got my paper round. All of them because they wanted to check the evening news about Man United. That's how mad it was. Can you imagine? 20 man chasing man. Yeah. Chasing man. And I'm there trying to deliver the newspapers. And
what are you doing then?
Yo, they used to call me Cole in it because I played football in it, and I would always like Andy Cole was one of my heroes. When Andy Cole signed for United, I loved him. That's why I met him the most. Yeah. It just worked out. Your hero, you get to meet him the most. Like I met him on the most maddest circumstances, like, you know what I mean? I'll have to get, when I do my YouTube channel, I can tell stories.
That's what I'm saying, man. You know what I mean?
I can tell stories, but,
you know what I mean?
But anyway.
Shout out to Rush Hour, man.
Like I said, a beautiful mixture. Moss Side and Rush Hour are blend like that, innit? Because there's no divide. It's still...
That's it.
In terms of voting and stuff like that, or like areas, every area blends
Rush Hour and Moss Side always go together.
Yeah. And even like human Moss Side, like here, blend, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So I'm just trying to explain that there's a vibrant, rich culture. Vibrant, rich culture. And without it, it won't be who I am, mate. Everything that you're a product of your environment. That's my environment. And the people that I grew up with, the love that we have for each other now, we're older, those of us that survived the madness. Because let's not get it twisted. There was madness going on.
There was madness. But I think that's brought us to where we are today and made us stronger and the community stronger. Yeah. You know what I mean? To where now, you know what I mean, everyone's together, whether you're white, black, Asian, you know what I mean? Everyone now is part of one community. And that's what we love.
But to be fair, it's always been part of that. So while the madness was going on, this part of the community is still going on. Do you
Course.
understand? And to me, I never felt that. That's why I felt safe. So sometimes when I'm watching mainstream media, like growing up as a kid, I'll be like, Moss Side, what are they talking about? Like they're like the Moss Side, like a bit on the news, on the local news and main national news, Moss Side, like you read in the papers, Moss Side. You know, I used to think, what are they talking about, man? There's love here. And you know what? All of those, like, social workers, key workers, people that worked at the Green Haze community centres.
Yeah, you know
all
what?
of the
Shout
community
to them,
centres,
man.
youth
Birchfield Road,
mentors.
Birchfield Road.
Yeah, youth mentors. Shout out all of them, man. Kept us playing football.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
shout out to
Moss Amateurs, man. Moss Amateurs, one of the...
development centre, the one that they just done now in Hume.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Shout out to them, man. You get me. They gave us a place to play football.
Yeah, man.
You know, powerhouse. They've been
Everywhere.
very, very rich areas. What's the other one as well, man? The one that Seniori works at. Hideaway,
yeah.
Hideaway, man.
Legendary youth club.
That has been a pioneer for
Hill
many.
Place, when the schools are out, that became a youth.
Yeah. Trinity House.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so many places in Manchester, man, that have built us to what we are today.
Yeah.
But guys, that's been your podcast 58. Sponsored by the One Football at Football Memories.
Just to tell them, watch the Diego Maradona.
Remember to watch it,
And
guys.
then, you know what, we want to get in the comments what you thought of the Diego Maradona documentary.
Yeah, make sure you put in the comments what you thought of the Maradona comments. And obviously when we do the podcast again on Thursday with Aaron, then you can tell us again on the comments and below what you think of the comments. But yeah, man, that's been our football memories. Let us know what your football memories are. I want to know how you grew up watching football and how you grew up, just in life in general. How was it for you growing up watching football and the memories and the Euros, and how hard was it? You know what I mean? Did you have a climbing up the stadiums of Old Trafford and chatting to the stewards? You know what I mean? Was that your memories?
Yo, but also like sneaking into concerts as well. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
stories like we could tell about that, sneaking into concerts, man.
Yeah.
Like the boys, our tag name, still today, we got that WhatsApp group, Rush Home. Boys I grew up with. Getting into, I remember we climbed, let me tell them just one fact. Oasis's first ever gig in Main Road, right? Main Road. That's Man City Stadium.
Yeah.
We climbed the roof to watch the Oasis, mate. Climbed the roof. Forget sneaking in. We climbed the top of the stadium with 200 man from Ireland. Madness. Right? Climbed to go up there and watch it on the roof. And police coming, climbing another and going, what's going on? And the guy goes, right, officer, I'm gonna jump. Officer's there, well back up. To make sure you and those kids come down safely.
Wow. Crazy,
Madness.
man. You know
These
what?
days now, helicopters coming out.
Helicopters just drag you out, man. Get out of here, man. You know what I mean?
You're getting dragged.
And you know what? We could be on lockdown, so there's no chance of that anyway happening.
Yeah.
But, guys, that's been your podcast 58. Let me know in the comments what you think of that, guys.
Boom!
And shout out to you, man.
You're telling
Star
stories,
Guy
man.
Red Devil.
All I can say is that to summarize, secret covers. You know what I mean? Secret covers. Undercover covers. You know what I mean? Covers.
Undercover coffers.
You know, it's a Corona's affair, mate. It's a Corona's affair.
Socials loaded.
That guy Red Devil, mate. That guy Red Devil, for all of your trolling needs, especially if you come to argue with me about the greatest World Cup goal in the history. That's what Diego Maradona. There will never be a goal like that ever scored in the World Cup like that. Because of the game between England and Argentina and all of the political and the war thing that was going on between Argentina and England. To score the goal like the handball, like to score that handball, the hand of God, he called it. He's just a poetic guy. How could you not love Diego, right? You cannot love Diego because in the documentary you see all of the things he was dealing with as he's growing up as a young man. All of the madness that's around him. But anyway, that goal for me is the greatest World Cup goal. He gave you like a cheat, like to cheat. And then he gave you the beauty. Like that's the beast. This is the beauty. Like, it's the madness to me. He's dancing. I'm gonna click that goal up, right? I'm gonna get bare people to just remix different musics to it, and you see it. He's dancing, man.
Titanic
he's
music.
dancing.
Let's do that.
He doesn't go with a Titanic music, man, because he's too much of a rhythm. He's got too much rhythm, man.
We'll find something.
Yo,
but guys, shout out to Nuruddin. Shout out to that guy Red Devil. Make sure you go follow him on all socials. And yeah, man, we out here.
Before you touch my things, mate.
Before you touch my things.
Yo, before you touch my things. Yo, shout out to all those people that self-isolated.
Yeah, self-isolated. You know what, man? Shout out to them again, you know what I mean? We will get through this, guy. This is going to be a long process, but you know what? For the good of humanity, and you know what?
Good for the country.
Good for the country.
Good for the world.
Good for the world, you know what I mean?
Let's
it's
do
just
it.
a sad reality. I've been watching a documentary again in Italy, and it's just very, very sad what's happening. If we don't take it seriously, guys, this might just happen in the UK, and you know what? God forbid it doesn't happen, but Again, shout out to the people in the NHS. Shout out to the people that are working very, very tirelessly.
Shout out to all those people trying to make new ventilators.
You know what I mean? Them guys in the manufacturing industry.
Yeah.
Again, we applaud you. But guys,
yo, give credit where credit's due as well. The private hospitals.
You know what?
NHS is taking over, and they're gonna let the hospital beds in the private hospitals.
In tough times, we all have to.
This is it.
Yeah.
Everybody's becoming a Corbynista, aren't they? Socialist world.
Listen.
Take over!
Politics. Forget politics. Guys, like the video. Subscribe to Night Central. Make sure you subscribe, guys. If you're watching this video, subscribe, please. Like the video.
I had to get that in there, didn't
He had to get that in there. Anything to do with politics here, he just has to get in there. Guys, like the video. Subscribe to Night Central. I'll see you soon. Take
love
care.
people. Love, peace. Love, light. No panicking, please. No panicking.
Don't panic, guys.
Wash your body while you're there as well.